Hey guys, good morning. Snake here with the Tampa Bay Pickers. And the other three members of the team are out visiting a family member. I have a lot of work to do, so I could not go. So it's just me for right now. They'll be back later, and who knows what we'll be getting into at that point. But anyway, today is just going to be a what sold the last couple days. So let's start off with this 9 West black floral print dress here. So this was actually free for us. This was my wife's mother's, and she no longer needed it and asked if we could sell it. And so we looked it up, and it comped all right. So we sold it. We were sitting on this for a couple months, maybe darn near close to a year. We sat on it for quite some time, but it did sell for $23.24 free ship. Those of you who are new to the channel, the majority of what we sell are clothing items, but we are slowly transitioning away from clothing items and focusing more on like harder goods, for lack of a better term. So anyway, this was a pretty good sale there. Free money. Free money is always good. All right. So this, if you guys remember the previous what sold video, I was telling you guys that we put one of these up for auction, and the reason we put it up for auction was because it had stains on it. And the dang thing sold for $20.49, I believe, and that was including shipping. So anytime we do an auction on a shirt or a clothing item, we do shipping on it, obviously, because if we were to, put it up for 99 cents and it sold for 99 cents, and yeah, we would be paying $4 or $5 to ship it. Obviously, not good business decision. So anyway, so it sold for and brought in more than what this shirt did, which is in excellent condition. Really odd how that works sometimes. Now, I would imagine that doesn't happen a lot. I would say that's more on the rare side. But yeah, so it happened. So we sold this one for $18.99. Not much difference. What was that? $1.50, less than $1.50. Less than what we made on the one that was actually stained. But either way, we bought this at a yard sale for $1, and we sold it for $18.99 free ship. These Wounded Warrior ones, if you find them, they go fairly quickly. I don't think we sit on these guys for more than a month, maybe 2 at the most. So yeah, a little bolo if you guys see them. All right, here is something that was also free. Now, this item came from my wife's aunt, and this wasn't the original price we put it up for. This was the price that I kept dropping it down to because we did have it up for a while. I think the original price was somewhere around $14.99, and so we dropped it all the way down to $7.24, and it sold free ship. So thankfully this was free, because if not, we would have lost money on it. So we maybe made $3, $2 or $3 on this. But yes. Okay, this is a Pokemon Blue version, Nintendo Game Boy, 1998 video game. We actually had 2 of these up for sale, and the person that bought them bought both of them. So, and they sold for $18.99 with $2.75 shipping on top. So I think this total order was just a little under $40, or just a little over $40. Yeah, so it was around $40. So this particular item, you can argue that we don't have anything into this either. And the reason for that is because the item came with a unit. It came with a Game Boy. I think it was a Game Boy Color, and it was in a condition that I was looking for. It was in nice condition. So I purchased the Game Boy Color for myself for our collection of video game consoles and games. You can maybe say a couple cents or $1 at the most if I wanted to, peel away off of the amount that I paid for the Game Boy Color, which wasn't much either. I think I paid $15 for it, and then whatever games came extra that I already owned, we sold. So it still turned a profit for us, even with the Game Boy Color included in the price or the value. So that's a pretty good sale. Anything Pokemon, if you see out there, I wouldn't say anything, but the majority, let me rephrase that, of items that you find out there that are Pokemon themed, most likely have some type of value to them. Okay. All right. So here is I don't think we actually sold the black one. It was another beige one that we sold. But for some reason it's showing the black one. Right here. Let's see. Yeah. Pretty sure it was another beige one, not the black one. This is a Nike Dry Fit. I think this was the last of the beige ones that we had, in this style. And this one also sold for $16.99 with free ship. So most of our clothing items under £1 go free shipping. They're the only things that we really like to send out free shipping. Now, later on in this video, here shortly, we're going to discuss some things that we were trying with shipping and what we found. So yeah, but there's that. All right, Nike Pro Combat. We absolutely love selling these. I probably said this in other videos before, but Nike Pro Combat sells like hotcakes for us. They're not like huge profit makers, but they are profit makers and they move quickly. So that's why we love picking them up. The Nike Pro Combat is a clothing item that anytime we see, we will pick up, no matter what, because of the fact that they move quickly. So even if even if you make $4 or $5 on it, even though we're making a lot more, I believe we probably paid $4 for this at a Goodwill, and we sold it for $17.74. So we probably made about $10. This is a really light shirt. It probably only weighed around 4 ounces, so we probably paid about $2.75 for shipping on this. So yeah, we profited about $10, not including the eBay fees, which is only about 70. We'll say another buck, somewhere around there. 10%, well, $1.70, so it's 10% plus 5% for that we include for PayPal. So anyway, this is a bolo for us, and highly recommend picking those up when you see them. All right, English Laundry. Now, I like what this sold for, and we actually see these a lot, but we've never really focused on them. We picked them up here and there, and this is a rough one because the shirt is very, very well made, this brand, and they actually they're very attractive shirt. They kind of remind me of like what a Robert Graham would look like, with the different patterns in the collars and then in the cuffs and stuff like that. So as far as our business is concerned, we're thinking about maybe picking a few of these up here and there a little more often, because we do leave a lot of them, and maybe trying to set like a little side market with kind of like what we do with our Tommy Bahamas. Tommy Bahamas, we love to sell Tommy Bahamas, so anytime we pick up or we see the Tommy Bahamas, we pick those up as well. Now, when I say that we're going to be moving away from clothing, and again, I probably said this in other videos as well, I'm talking about like a lot of the different brands out there. Like we're moving away from selling like Brooks Brothers. Oh geez, I'm not even gonna remember all the names right now, but there's lots of brands. Tommy Hilfiger, lot of brands that the market is just super saturated on, and they're not worth even picking up and storing, because they sit for a very, very, very long time, and when they do move, they don't really turn a lot of profit, for me anyway. So, but there are other brands that we will continue to sell. Tommy Bahama being one. Lacoste is getting beat up right now. Lacoste, we used to focus on Lacoste a lot, and used to be a good seller for us. But something's happening with the market, which is, I would say it's expected, because this market is very volatile. I'm talking about any market. The U.S. market, let's just say, is very volatile. You'll have things that are worth a lot of money one year and worth nothing the next, and then later on down the road it could be worth something again. So Lacoste seems to be one of those items for us, but I absolutely love the brand. So it's going to be one of those things where if I see them, it's going to be really hard pressed to leave it if it's in good condition and if it's authentic. So that's one. Burberry, we're definitely going to be picking up. Vineyard Vines, we're going to be picking up. Hugo Boss, we're kind of phasing out a little bit. So just some brands there that we're just going to be, phasing out altogether, and less focus as well. Meaning that, when we go into a thrift store, we're not going to be putting 100% focus into clothing like we used to, where we basically went through like every aisle and basically put our fingers or hands on every piece of clothing in the store almost. So anyway, I'm done rambling with that. So this made a pretty good profit, probably about $4. We picked it up for, so for $21.24 free ship. Here we go. Here's our Tommy Bahama, one of our bread and butters. And this one is embossed with a big old pineapple leaf on the back. Pretty cool. Very nice looking shirt. Not the best of colors, but and this one had a little tear here that we did picture. And it's still sold for $21.99. So quite happy about that. And the reason we were still able to get $21.99 for this with that tear there is most likely because of the embossed back. A lot of people look for that. So good flip there. Okay, here's another item that was free. This was also my mother-in-law's, and she did donate this to us and said, if we could sell it, sell it. If not, give it away. And this was something else that we did sit on for quite some time. I'm talking, we've probably been sitting on this for probably a good year and a half, to be honest. But we knew there was value there. And every month, almost from the month that we put it up for sale, we did have watchers on it. Just no one ever pulled the trigger. Finally, someone said, you know what? Picking that bad boy up. And we just sold that. So definitely a good profit there. We had no money into it. Now, would I recommend picking these up for sale? That's going to be up to you. I probably would not. And I probably would have never sold this if it wasn't donated to us. But that profit's pretty nice. So, I mean, if you pick this up for, I don't know, $5 or $10 at a shop, and you want to sit on it for a year and a half, again, that's something that you would have to decide on your own. All right. Again, those of you who are new to the channel, we love to pick up mixers, food processors at yard sales. Usually we pick them up for no more than $5. I mean, we're talking about a whole blender. Oh, geez. A whole food processor from anywhere from $1 to $5. I would say the average is about $3. And we part them out. I mean, you have blades. Sometimes they come with 2 or 3 different types of blades. It comes with the bowl, comes with the lid, comes with a pusher, and other items. It all depends on which model you pick up. But they make us a lot of profit. The base does not sell. So the motor or the base, whatever you want to call it, we either chuck out or we donate it, because they do not sell. But unless it's a higher end brand like a Ninja or something to that effect, those bases do sell. We've sold those before. But stuff like from a Hamilton Beach or Oster or Black and Decker, the bases do not sell. So we toss those. So anyway, this sold for $11.74 with $7.32 shipping. So, good profit there, considering that we probably sold the other 4 or 5 parts that came with this as well. And some food processor parts can sell for 20, 30. I think the most we sold the food processor part was for like $40. So anyway, Bolo for food processors. Hugo Boss. This is like a I don't know, a dress shirt that you would possibly wear like a suit or a tux with. And it was, the color wasn't great, but we did pick it up anyway. A lot of people don't go for yellow. And we probably sat on this probably like 6-7 months. Most likely a Goodwill or thrift store pickup for about $4 or $5. So for $24.99, so quite happy about that. Free ship. So we probably made $10+ on it. Tommy Bahama, pair of shorts, plaid. Size 30. This was half linen, half cotton. So, long tail item. All of the clothing items are long tail items, which you guys probably are already aware of. So we probably had it 6, 7, 8 months, something like that, and it sold for $23.74. This, I think we purchased for $3.28. All right, Brooks Brothers. And this is a female business type shirt. Ladies like to pick this up for the office type environment, work wise. So women clothing for us, we have phased out women's clothing. And the reason we've done that is because so if you were to compare a Brooks Brothers market for men's compared to a Brooks Brothers market for female, it's almost like comparing apples to oranges, in my opinion. And the reason is because women buy more clothing than men do, and this is not my opinion. This is a fact. So the market for women's clothing is much more of a saturated market than for men's. And we have a hard time moving women's clothing. And I have a feeling it's because, we'll throw up, like for this shirt, for instance, we'll throw it up for a decent value or a decent, I would say a decent value. So $21.49. And others would come behind you and put it up for $18.99 or something to that effect. And these sit. We probably had this particular item for over a year, maybe even pushing 2 years, to be honest, because we haven't picked them up in so long. But we find, anything that we have in there, obviously we're going to keep up for sale for now, and hope that they move. And this paid off here because it did move. So, but anyway, most likely not going to be picking up any more female clothing, to be honest, unless it's rare or something to that effect. All right, this is from a He-Man lot that we had. It was a rather large He-Man lot, Masters of the Universe. Most of the figures were absolutely beat, and I think I'm repeating myself on this as well, but when we saw it, I almost left it. It looks like they left the box out in the Florida sun to cook. I mean, they were like melted. They had melted necks and stuff. They look like something out of a horror movie. But I said, you know what? There's money there and the other parts and things that affect. Thankfully, I decided to pick it up because it has made us a ton of money with parts like this. Now, have we sold any figures? I mean, there were a few that were decent enough to put up, obviously completely pictured with all the flaws and stuff like that. Off the top of my head, I can't remember if we've sold any figures yet or not. No, that's a lie. We have. There were some Skeletor figures that we did sell. Yes, there were some Skeletor figures that we did sell. So we did sell some figures. But anyway, this is turning us a huge profit. So anytime you see Masters of the Universe He-Man items out there, even if it's just like a little axe, if you happen to see one or a piece of clothing and you're able to identify that it is from He-Man, well, here you go. I mean, at a yard sale, I wouldn't imagine someone selling this, just sitting on a table by itself. But if they did, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't try and charge you $10 for it. So you may be looking at a quarter or something like that. I would imagine anyway. But again, we bought this in a lot, so we had tons of these types of things. Okay, so these last two items here, this is what I kind of wanted to talk about with the free shipping that I mentioned earlier in the video. So we are not advocates of free shipping. Again, we only do free shipping on things, mostly clothing items, even things that are, some things under £1 we do, but that's even rare. Okay. Now you might see that we did sell some things, free shipping example, this one, along the way here, but that's just us testing the market and trying to compete with other sellers. But I'm going to have to say it with these two items. These actually just sold. All these items just sold the last day or two. But these were just shipped out this morning. And I'll have to say we can't do free shipping. We're just a small business. And, we're trying to compete with these guys who, I guess can afford to do free shipping on these. But I regret doing free shipping on this and the next item I'm going to show you. And the reason being is that it darn near cost us 50% of our profit for shipping. It cost us about $8.50 to ship this. It is over £1. We probably had like $3 into it. So we still did make a profit. Okay. So that's not the issue. And well, let me not just say that definitively, because you have to factor in some things like, hours, gas, shipping, materials, packing supplies. But ours is probably going to be the big one. You have to picture it, you have to list it, you have to find it, you have to transport it. So there's lots of things. So we probably barely made a profit on this. So here's my argument. There are businesses or stores out there that maybe they just look at the smaller picture as far as moving an item. So even if they, they just want to pick up and move. So even if they make $1 on the item, when it's all said and done, then it's $1. But you have to be careful. You have to be careful with the actual amount of money that you're actually putting into this item, with all things considered. And you have to remember that you have taxes and things that affect. So what you're doing, like let's say for tax purposes, you're inflating your sales to a point where I don't know, like it's almost like you're inflating your own taxes with things like this. Now, if you're good enough to take every single thing into consideration and break it all down, like let's say you have a CPA or something to that effect, which I do not. I do all that stuff myself. Then, they can break it all down, put all the hours in it, the gas, the storage, obviously you have office not what is the word for it? I can't even think of it. Exempt or credits or whatever. I can't think of the word right now. I mean, maybe to where you could break it down to all the way down to the point where, for tax purposes, it shows that you paid a total or have invested a total of $18 into this item and you sold it for $19.99 and you only made a $9.99 profit on it. Maybe later on down the road when I get bigger, hopefully, I can maybe have a good enough CPA to break it all the way down to $1.99. But can I do that myself? I don't even have the tax knowledge to do that. I do my best with trying to use everything that I possibly can, as far as a business, to pay the least amount of taxes. But I can't say that I'm probably saving everything or doing everything 100% correctly. But anyway, I digress. I was really disappointed when I shipped this because I was like, and another way to look at it too, as a side note, is that, for instance, if you're a seller and you go somewhere and you look it up on your phone or whatever, you're like, oh man, this is worth $20. It's only $2 here. That's a pretty good profit. Well, then you go home, you list it and it's going free shipping. Well, that item is not worth $19.99. If you have to include the $8 or $9 shipping, it's only worth $10.99. So another thing that doing free shipping does is it technically lowers the value of the item because that item again is only worth $11.99, not $19.99. So, I guess something that you could do is put this up for $11.99 with $8.25 shipping. I mean, I don't know, but this is for the Xbox One. These I think are kind of valuable. When someone messes up their power supply, they get a lightning strike, whatever the case may be, they drop it, break it, they're not just going to go ahead and sell their Xbox One because their power supply is out, so they go and look for a replacement power supply. The Xbox One X, the one that we purchased was like $400. So obviously parts to it should be pretty valuable as well. Anyway, I feel like I'm rambling now, but we just can't. So we tried this out. 50% of our profit went to shipping. We paid like $3 for it, $8, $9 shipping, plus the fees. We totally killed this item for profit. And for further argument's sake, this type of thing, in my opinion, we would have been better off just putting it up for sale, calling the guy. Obviously, this is just as anecdote, if you will. Calling the guy up and be like, hey, listen, just give us your address, pay for the shipping, we'll send it out to you for free. We might as well have done that. Now, am I taking it to the next level? Maybe. But think about it. $9 for shipping. We paid $3 for it. There's only $7. Well, it was $8. So we'll say there was $8, $9 worth of profit there. Or, well, not including what we cost. So $6 plus the fees, which was about $2, plus the 5% for PayPal. So another $1. So we made $3 off this item. Something that's worth $20 that we purchased for $3, we made $3. No, not good. Not good at all. So, message to you buyers out there, the United States of America likes to say that they're for small business. That's what the capitalism and the free market and things to that effect are for. So support your small businesses by paying your shipping charges. These guys who are all, doing this all for free shipping and stuff like that. I mean, I guess you do what you want with that, but support your small businesses like mine and others, sellers that you see on YouTube and on eBay, because we work hard. I work hard. My family helps me. My kids help me. I mean, our whole family is involved in this business, and we work really hard. We go out on a regular basis. We spend a lot of money on gas. We have a lot of money invested in products, and we can't give them away. I can't give this away for $3 like I did. It's just it would not make for a long-term profitable business for us if we gave everything away for $6 or for $3, on our end, if you will. So pay your shipping charges, guys. Shipping charges year over year are just continuing to increase. So, those guys who keep, are making their living off of free shipping, if you can call it that, they're going to make themselves obsolete, because there's no way that we're going to be able to, or they're going to be able to continue to absorb the shipping charges. There's just no way. Amazon, if you're trying to compare us to Amazon, there's no comparison, because of the fact that Amazon has huge contracts with USPS and UPS and whoever else they do business with. I'm talking about huge contracts where they probably pay almost nothing, for this contract, and compared to what they sell and ship out. Okay. So obviously there's value there, but compared to what the business that they're bringing in from that contract, it's probably peanuts. Okay. I don't have that contract, and a lot of us don't have that type of contract or the ability to make that contract, nor would it make any sense, financial sense, because, you're talking about a company that probably ships out hundreds of thousands, maybe even millions of items on a daily basis, compared to someone who sells 5 or 6 or 7 or 10, or let's say a medium-sized business, 30 items a day. It still doesn't compare, you see? So we can't make those types of contracts. So trying to compete with like an Amazon, come on. If that's really what your goal is, more power to you, but you have a hell of a long road ahead of you. And that market is cornered. So anyway, I'm going to digress again, and I'm going to move on to the next item. So this is another item that we said we'll go ahead and try it out, and put it up for free shipping, hopefully bring some business to the store. I'm not going to go into it all again, but it cost us about $8.50 to ship. It is over £1, and we probably paid $2 or $3 for this as well. I'm going to have to say it's pretty darn near close to have not made a profit at all on this, because of the fact that 50% of what we made on this item went to shipping. So anything over £1 is no longer going free shipping. We did try it out. It's not the direction that we can afford to go. So, yeah. So anyway, that's what we sold. I'm sorry for the tangent. Well, it wasn't a tangent, but I'm sorry for the rambling. But I'm going to stick to it. You buyers out there, America is a country that, is supposed to be free market. We want to support your small businesses. Well, one way you can support us is by paying your shipping charges, because they are expensive, and there's no profit when you include it into some of these items, especially the low value items like this. So anyway, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Till next time.